Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's video I'd like to look at some advanced analysis on the USE minis using the larger degree time frame charts. So let's see what I mean about this. So if you're trading 3 and 5 minute charts, we look to the large degree time frame, in other words the 15-minute charts, for our trend direction. Now this is a good example of this is on the NQ. As you can see here, we had a TS3 sell setup, but our STF color is blue, and normally for new MTPredictor traders we suggest using the STF color for our large degree trend. However, once you become more experienced, we can then use the 15-minute charts, and I'd like to show you a couple of examples of that in today's video. So let's now look at a 15-minute chart. And let's go back to before today even opened. If I put the session breaks on, you can see here is where the YM opened yesterday. Now what we do with our larger degree charts is we go back to important highs and lows, important pivots. Now there was an important pivot back here. So if we right mouse click on this pivot and we put our decision point on, you can see it goes up there, and it was around the level of our just above where the market opened yesterday. We can drag these left and right, but you can see they don't change position vertically, so the price level doesn't change. So here you can see that what happened yesterday is the market opened yesterday and it went up into this 15-minute resistance level. So in other words, with the larger degree chart at a larger degree resistance area, in other words our decision point resistance, the more experienced MTPredictor traders can then assume that the trend is actually down. Now if it's down, a great trade setup I like to look at is what I call our holy grail trade setup. And this is where the market makes an initial move off the high, which is into here, which we consider a wave 1, an initial correction, which is into here, which is what we consider a wave 2, and then we assume after a wave 2, we then assume that the market's going to make a wave 3 type of decline. Now it says 2 or B here because there can be other circumstances that this could be an A or a B, but when you're coming off a larger degree pivot like this, or important high as we call it, this is normally considered 1, this is normally considered 2. So let's go up and have a look, or let's go into the 3-minute chart and have a look at what unfolded around about 1 o'clock or just after 1 o'clock on the initial correction after the initial move. Right, well here it is. So here was our important high as we defined on our 15-minute chart. Perhaps if I just grab this and take this over to the right hand side a bit and make it a little bit smaller, you can see it's on the corner of our eye there as well, so we can just see what's happening. So there we go. So there's our important high coming in at 10:45, which equates to our 10:45 high here. So the market makes an initial decline down. Yes, it's a little bit choppy, but this will be still considered the initial swing down. We then get an ABC correction up into a TS3 sell. Now this sell we now know is with the large degree trend because the 15-minute high is there and the large degree trend is down. So this first red sell bar we have here, if we put the analysis on, the market didn't take us into a trade setup here. A couple of bars later we actually got another red sell bar here at 13:27 New York time. So let's place the analysis on here. We then had a couple of bars sideways again before the market then took us into a short trade as of this bar here, which was the 13:36 bar. Now because we're anticipating a wave 3 type of decline down here, let's place the analysis on there. You can see that it was actually, in fact I'll just clear that up a bit so you can just make it a little bit better. So if I right mouse click, do Elliott wave intermediate, you can see this is what we're anticipating and this is what unfolded. So a wave 2 down into a wave 3. You can see the low there came in right at the typical wave 3 WPT, which is nice. So here we were actually anticipating, rather than the market coming in at our first level, which is here, we'd actually take our target out down to our typical wave 3 WPT. So in other words, the market is anticipated to move in a wave 3 type swing rather than a smaller swing. And this is unique because we're anticipating a 1, 2, then 3, because we had an important high unfolding here to start with. So this was a very nice trade, and it's what I call the Holy Grail trade setup. Not because they have a high percentage of reliability, but because the profits here at plus 4.6R was much larger than initial risk. Because wave 3s are typically the strongest and longest wave in a completed 5-wave sequence, the wave 3 normally represents the best wave to trade because it has the highest profit potential. Remember, our position sizing varies our number of lots, contracts or shares to keep our initial risk small under control. So that was a very good example of an advanced trade on the NQ. Another market I liked the look of yesterday was our YM, and again, if I go back to before the market even opened, this is important because we like to have these levels on our chart in advance ready for us. So if I just use our trading mode, I'll take it back to here. So even when the market's down here, I can place the DP off a prior pivot here, and as you can see, there it is up there in advance, ready and waiting for you. If I now turn our bar replay mode off, you can see that this is what the market did. It went up into that level, it made an initial high there, came down, made a second high at that level, and then actually gave us an automatic DP sell setup at the high as well. So that means at about 2 o'clock we're at larger degree resistance, and then as soon as that 15-minute bar was complete, we had confidence that the larger degree trend, i.e. the 15-minute chart, was giving us a sell setup, and the trend had now changed down. If we now go to the 3-minute chart, in fact what I'll do is I'll just take that one down there again so we can actually see that. There we go. So it's just sat in the corner there, so you're actually reminded of our 15-minute chart position. Now if I go to the 3-minute chart, now on the YM we didn't have any automatic setups. However, one of the other tools we have in the software is our Elliott Wave tool. So as the market came up into this high here, some more experienced Elliott Wavers among you will probably guess that this is probably a 5-wave sequence. To confirm this, we right mouse click over here, Elliott Wave Intermediate, and you can see this is indeed what the market has found, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in Elliott Wave terms, this is the 5th wave of the last completed swing into an important high, and an advanced trader could then decide that they wanted to take a potential short trade from there. On our 15-minute chart, if I go back to here and I place our analysis on, then the market was anticipated to come down into this level, which was the 14.1670 area, which equates to the DP off this low here. So rather than trying to take a trade off this high and only anticipating a very small move off the way to the wave 4, we're anticipating, because of the larger degree position, that the move is going to go down into this level here. So you could set up a trade setup off that red sell bar into the high, down into this level at least. And there you go, there's a potential 3.3R profit available there. And that actually allowed you to nail the very high of the day, which is obviously a very nice position to be in. You could then look down here to see the strength band, which is what we have here. So the STF was beyond the strength band, therefore the market was considered to be strong. Therefore you could swap to the ATR stop, which is our red dots, and the market would have then just clipped you out at that high there for a potential 4R profit. So another good example of some advanced analysis in MTPredictor, but it's all based around the larger degree position, so the larger degree charts, and this is what set this up on the YM. The YM going into the 15-minute DP there, and then confirmed by an automatic sell setup coming in as well, and also on the NQ again going into the 15-minute DP, set up our larger degree resistance, which then allowed us on our shorter term charts to take this Holy Grail trade setup. So that's been the topic of today's webinar, is orienting your shorter term trades, or trying to identify short term trades on your 3 and 5 minute charts, but setting them up with the larger degree position on your 15-minute charts. And as you can see, a very nice short on the NQ there, and a very nice wave 5 high to then take another short trade off what was pretty much the high of the day.